Yeah, and that's Steve Gadd. He would have played that a lot better, but I'm not Steve Gadd, unfortunately. Are there any questions on sort of Steve Gadd or that piece?
Yeah, you did a Mozambique.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for us?
Yeah. Afro-Cuban rhythm, a big one. Usually sort of one of those things. So I'll play it slowly, so if you hear this. The great thing about that and the way Steve Gadd does it is you would never, if it wasn't Steve Gadd playing with Paul Simon, no one would ever have come up with that to play on late in the evening in a tune like that. You know, someone have, and he's a big fan of it. It's a big thing he does in solos. And he did a record with Al Jarreau, a live record, which was really great. And he puts his left hand on the hat and right so it's great because it's one of those things you can use in so many different styles if you know how to play it.
And this comes from Afro-Cuban rhythm.
Yes, yeah.
Is it clave based?
Yeah. Well,
somewhere in there.
Yes, I can't think off the top of my head. Possibly 3/2, clave, I think. And he uses that. Yeah, he uses that. He's a big fan of that, and he plays it just exceptionally well. And a lot, very sort of rudimental bass, but he takes it around. He takes it around in 6-stroke rolls and Martignetti and stuff like that.
So you have to define some of these terms for us.
Martignetti is double left. It's pretty great. It's phonetic. Or starting with your right hand, and then you've got doubles and triple Martignetti. So. You can hear it's very.
I associate it with kind of American Marines.
Yeah, exactly. But he'll play around it, take it around the songs. A really fantastic player with rudiments. And, not a lot of people practicing rudiments at the moment, upcoming drummers.
No.
They want to sort of be John Bonham, but don't realise that he was technically pretty.
He was on my list to ask you actually about John Bonham. Where does he figure in your?
Oh, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Zeppelin as much as I am a massive fan of John Bonham. He's one of those guys that 99% of the drums out there, you ask them what they think of Bonham, and they'll say insane, because he was. I mean, Bonham, again, jazz. Not a jazz drummer, but very jazz influenced. You know, Gene Krupa, Buddy Rich. That sort of stuff, and then there was there's a Fall in the Rain breakdown where he goes like
so that sounds like Krupa and
yeah, very sort of sing.
Yeah.
Very
Are there rudiments at the root of that, or is that just a pattern?
Well, they're singles, just. But that is a 3/2, isn't it? Yeah. So but they all sort of come from New Orleans and stuff like that. They're all somewhere Spanish or Afro-Cuban.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bonham, unbelievable player. Just and his use of triplets and his triplets on the bass drum is very jazz.
Can you do a little bit? Because you did one at a gig recently, didn't you?
An example of John Bonham.
Is it Communication Breakdown, or was the other one you did?
We did. It was Good Times, Bad Times, wasn't it? That's what we did.
Yeah.
Hear that? What was that? I never spent enough enough time with the single bass drum like Bonham. That's it's a workout for your feet. But yeah, that and my favourite groove of his was "Fall in the Rain." You know, that half time, which very Bernard Purdy. You know. Which then Jeff Becerra took on for Rosanna, which is, he played the Rosanna Shuffle. Which everyone knows and loves. Jeff Becerra is unbelievable. But, any others?
I was going to ask a question about, you spoke about using 2 sticks in each hand. Is this just like almost like a layering method? Because one hits the skin slightly later than the other one? Almost, but even quicker, I guess.
Yeah, you can't tell it's there really when listening to it until you know it's there and you know it's there.
So it just thickens the texture a bit, almost like a production method.
Yeah. So he's great. I mean, vibe players do it a lot, don't they? They've got yeah. So and he played it on the rim, so it gets that really sort of.
So what would it sound like with one?
Yeah, could you?
Yeah,
we compare and contrast.
So there's one, and he does it on the tom. And then let's see if I can do this. Yeah, you can definitely hear the difference.
Yeah.
He does it so
especially on the rim of the floor.
It's different sound.
Doing it on the drum could almost give just the impression it gives a bad sound. But doing it on the rim where it's staccato, quick, definitely. Oh, so good. Any more questions?
Talk to me about playing. I talked about this the other day. Playing a melody on the drums. In an interview with I can't remember who it was now, who was talking about.
Elvin, wasn't it? Elvin talking about 3/4 Molly.
Yeah, that's right. And he was playing the melody, and then he went off on, like he does, and it was fantastic. But do you do that? What other players do that, and what's the reasoning behind it?
Well, I mean, to put it bluntly, you wouldn't want a John Bonham drum solo in the middle of a James Taylor song, because it's not going to work. It doesn't work. And so I think, specifically almost in jazz when you do it, there's no point playing Cantaloupe Island and then start blast beating at 200 BPM. It doesn't fit, it doesn't work, it's a mess. So if you're playing, there's a great player called Michael Carvin, an American jazz player, and he talks about it very simply. If you're going to do Mary Had a Little Lamb, so you just do. And you can develop that and go on and mess around with it. But if you've got a thing in your head, it also helps. I've always found helps you know where you are in a tune. If either on your own or if you're just with the piano player or the bass player, and for whatever reason you're getting lost. It's a good way to know where you are.
Yeah.
And so that kind of thing, if that makes any sense.
And do you use this in your own? Can we hear it on your EP, for instance? Will there be some of these things you've been talking about?
My because it's there are no instruments. Well, it's drums, but it's more sort of messing around with rhythm and that kind of thing. There's a pretty sort of obvious style going throughout the whole thing, so you know what's happening, but not so much singing a melody. No, not on this one. But if I'm playing a jazz tune or something like that, then I will try. Yeah, definitely. play one more sort of in my drum solo, and it's a hard one because it's great because I listen to a lot of music. I'm a big fan of reggae and ska and Sly Dunbar. I played with Bob Marley, incredible, and then I love Elvin Jones and I love Stuart Copeland. So there's a whole sort of mixing pot of drummers and things I can take, passing off in my own sort of thing. So yeah, we'll see what happens with this one. Nice one.
Okay. Well, finally from me, any advice for young up-and-comers?
90% listen, and then, just a huge amount of listening.
Should that be red?
Oh, that's fine. Green's good.
A lot of listening, a lot of different genres. Don't just listen to punk and nothing else. Punk is great, but listen to Elvin, listen to Steve Gadd, listen to Steve Ferrone and the Average White Band. Listen to as much as different stuff as you can, really. You know, even if it's stuff you don't really like, listen to John Martin when Phil Collins was playing for him. Just everything, yeah. A lot of listening, and then just a lot of playing with other people. Metronome, always a metronome. Yeah. I don't practice to a metronome as much as I should, but yes, it's good.
Great.
Yeah, that's all for me.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Will.
Thank
well
you.
done.